Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's video. Just had a few things I wanted to go over real fast. First, our usual shout out of appreciation to all of our patrons out there. We appreciate all those tips and support, and hope you guys are enjoying the videos that we put out for you guys exclusively every single week, including the How to Deal Craps instructional set that is ongoing. And if you're curious about it, go ahead and check the description of the video down below. And also I wanted to go over, we've had a couple of questions about this little neon light thing that we've been putting on some of our other videos. So if anybody's interested in one of these, just shoot us an email at sincityliving.lv@gmail.com. And so I did another test of our live stream, another attempt to do the live stream. So I now know that I have the right equipment, the right camera, the right programming, able to get all of that done. Unfortunately, what I did discover is that my computer was not strong enough, was not powerful enough to be able to encode and upload it as an actual live stream. So I'm going to continue tweaking with that, although it may turn out that I'm just going to have to wait until I can afford to buy a newer, more powerful computer for that. So that will be on the list. So it does look like live streaming may not be as upcoming as I was hoping. It's going to take us a little bit of time to generate that up. And otherwise, please make sure you email us with any questions, strategies, anything you would like us to video. We love shooting these videos for you guys. If not, I'm going to go straight into today's video. So for this video, today's video, we want to go over an email that was sent to us. Again, we appreciate all those emails from you guys. A lot of fun for us, and one of my favorite things to shoot. This one isn't a strategy. This is another series of questions asked by one of our fans. So let's take a look. Let's see what their questions are. And this email comes from, looks like Vaughn. Yes, comes from Vaughn. Thank you very much, Vaughn, for sending this to us. Okay, so the first question. What is the etiquette when someone is new and asking questions during a game? Sometimes someone is new and is either asking other players or the dealer for help. Sometimes they are respectful, sometimes they are being intrusive and not knowing they are intrusive. What are dealers supposed to do in those situations? What should players do? Sometimes I'll see new players make wrong 6 and 8 place bets or make a pass line bet after they come out, and I don't know if I should say something to help or just keep my mouth shut. Okay. So, the etiquette when someone is new and asking questions during the game, well, unfortunately there really is no etiquette, because if they are new and don't understand the game, then they wouldn't know any particular etiquette. They wouldn't know how to ask questions and things along those lines. So, the thing that I would say, the first bit of etiquette, I suppose, would be don't ask the players. If a player volunteers, then by all means. But don't ask the players, and especially don't ask the shooter questions. Most players want to play. They don't want to sit there babysitting. They want to sit there answering a bunch of questions. The shooter definitely does not want to be distracted, be asked a bunch of questions. A lot of players, except for their friends that they may be with, don't really want to. As social as this game is, as much as people cheer and high-five each other and all that, most people are not looking for long, drawn-out conversations. They're looking to, generally, for the most part, keep themselves and have a good time. So definitely ask the dealers. Now, if the game is busy, the dealers flat out aren't going to answer. So what is a dealer supposed to do in this situation? Well, there is no hard and fast, tried and true rule to this. We want to help players. We want to encourage players to play the game. But this is hands down the most complex game in a casino. It's not something that we can explain, and it's definitely not something we can explain during a busy game or during a live roll. We will, if the game is busy enough, we will generally tell the players, this is an extremely complex game, very, very fast moving. Your best bet is going to be to stand off to the side and watch a game being played, see what you can pick up. And we also recommend that maybe you go, and it's pretty funny, but most dealers will say, go on YouTube and watch a couple of videos. To at least get a basic understanding of the game, then watch a couple of live games. If the game is slow, then we're more than happy to help people out. But if the game is busy, and I've got a lot of place bets to pay and stuff like that, I honestly don't have time to answer questions. I really, really don't. I need to keep the game moving. I need to be paying people, dealing with their presses, and bets coming down, bets coming back up, make sure I'm reminding people of stuff that may have fallen, moving bets. So I don't have a whole lot of time to be answering a whole bunch of questions. So I will answer some basic questions if people ask, oh, what are they trying to do? Well, they're trying to roll the point. If we have a point marked, oh, what are they trying to do? Well, they'll win over there if they roll the 9. They'll win on that pass line bet. All those bets will win. Well, what's that bet right there? That's odds. It pays a little bit more money. Well, what's that bet over there? Well, that's a little bit more complex. It's kind of an advanced bet. And that at that point we start, hey, just worry about the basics. Go watch a couple of videos. Should you, as a player, advise another player? Yes and no. You kind of have to read their general vibe. Typically, however, what we see from dealers is that players usually tell other players wrong. They either will tell them their strategy that they've worked out that is so super brilliant and in reality is just either really basic or doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Or they just flat out tell people wrong. Now, advising someone, hey, if you throw them a couple more bucks, you'll make your 6 or 8 proper and it pays you better. Cool. The dealers are also going to tell that to somebody, though. But we will only tell someone a couple of times. After we've told you 2 or 3 times, hey, drop me a couple bucks. These are always in sets of 6. After that, after the second or third time, we're just going to stop. You throw me 10 bucks for an 8, you're getting a $10 8. You're going to lose money on that. We can't keep telling the same thing over and over and over again. As far as things like, say, putting down a bet onto the pass line after there's a point, that's a legal bet. There's nothing wrong with that bet. Advising them that they'd be better off placing it, sure. But, you can if you want. You're going to kind of have to read the player on that. Some players actually will not take it very well getting told by other players what to do. Do I have any stories about cheaters other than shot takers? Most of the cheating done nowadays on craps, or actually really all the time, most of the cheating done on craps is shot taking. Actual organized cheating and things along those lines. There are some stories on it. I'm actually trying to put together like a top 10 list of casino cheating. And I may actually just have a second list at some point of just craps cheaters. So eventually, yes. Do I have any personal stories from it? No. It's just shot takers, pass posters trying to, add to their bet after after a decision has been made, and even that I have not personally witnessed. It didn't happen on my table. Now I'm going to skip the next 2 questions. There's some subjects that we won't touch on this channel. More than happy, oftentimes, to answer them in email, but we won't touch certain subjects on this channel. Have I ever run out of lay buttons or buy buttons or on or off buttons? Yes, maybe once or twice. It's pretty rare. It's pretty uncommon because there are a lot of buttons on the table. And if it gets really bad, we'll grab them from another table or we have backups. But the only ones I've actually run out of were lay buttons. And that's not that big of a deal because let's say someone wants to do a direct lay on the 10 and I've already used up all my lay buttons, which is hard to do. Again, that takes a lot of lays. If I don't have a lay button, that's not a problem. I'm just going to heel it off. Heel it off shows that it's a lay because I would heel it off if there happened to be, say, a flat bet in front of it. Then we would heel off the lay. So if I just heel it off, that's going to signify that it's a lay. As far as buy buttons, no, definitely not, because for the most part we don't really mark the 4 and 10 as buys anymore. We know it's a buy. We don't even pull it inside the number. We just leave it set up. So typically you'll see a buy on the 10 and just set up as a $25 10. We're not going to be pulling them inside and setting buy buttons on or anything along those lines. As far as on or off buttons, no, because again, we don't get that many of them, and typically one button will be used for all of a player's bets. So it would require pretty much every player on the table to turn their bets off all at once, or turn their bets on all at once. And even then, we probably have enough buttons to pull it off. And if we're really worried if too many people are turning their bets off, what we're probably going to do when people turn their bets off is take them down and hand them back. Have I ever had a dice fall off the table and we couldn't find it? And how long would the casino look before giving up? As a matter of fact, yes. I did have a die go off the table and we could not find it, and we had multiple floors looking for it for quite some time. There is no set standard for how long they're going to spend looking for it before they give up. I've heard a couple of stories of things I didn't actually witness that are pretty amusing, but the one I actually witnessed, yeah, the die was gone. It was gone for about an hour and a half, which actually surprised me. It did eventually get found, but it did surprise me that they didn't swap the dice. At a certain point, they're going to take the dice. If one die is missing out of the serial numbered set, at a certain point, they're going to take the dice, they're going to cancel them, and they're going to put a new set of dice out. But they hadn't done that yet, and eventually the die was found. So yeah, there really is no set time limit for how long they're going to look. But at a certain point, they would give up, and then it just depends on the casino. Where I'm at right now, I would make a pretty good guess that we would cancel the dice and put a new set out if we couldn't find the die. And last question, favorite place to play for a low roller out here? Okay, so for a low roller out here, you need to find a bare minimum $10 tables. There are still the occasional $5 tables, typically during the slower time periods during the week. During the day is when you're most likely to find them. But I can't tell you where or when because it changes. It's the same reason that I tell people we don't ever shoot videos and tell you guys what the table limits are at various casinos around or table minimums are at various casinos around town at any given time, because they can change within minutes. Those signs get swapped out constantly. I could tell you, hey, such and such has $10 tables, and 15 minutes later, such and such may have nothing smaller than a quarter. Same thing with low rolling tables. So you got to find places that peak at $10. And your best bet for that is off the strip, and not downtown, but actually off the strip, away from the touristy areas. You have to look at the break-in casinos, the tier 1, tier 2 casinos. Typically look at most of the Station and Boyd properties, the coast properties and the stations and stuff like that. Not their resorts, but their break-in houses around town. You may be able to find it on the strip as well, but you have to go to the lower end. There are actually, this may surprise people, but there are actually break-in casinos on the strip. There are some casinos on the strip that will take dealers fresh out of dealing school. Reason for that is because they are now at the point where their business flow is so low that the toke rate, the income, is too low to attract the experienced dealers, so they have become a break-in house. I'm not going to list any, just because that's not very nice, because they used to be a little bit more premier. But I'm sure all of you guys know there's definitely casinos on the strip that are not the happening, poppin' premier place to go. But for the most part, if you want to play small bankroll, low bankroll, couple $100, off the strip, the smaller casinos, look along Boulder Highway, North Vegas, or again, just away from the strip and away from downtown. And you'll find the $10 tables, and that's where you would go with and you might be lucky, and it might be a $5 table at that point. But that's where you would want to go for a low bankroll play. And there actually used to be a place here in town that still had dollar craps. I actually would go there when I would have friends come from out of town, and they would want me to teach them how to play dice, because I would take them there and they could buy in for $20, and it'd be like buying in for $100 on a $5 table, or for $200 on a $10 table. And for $20, I'd be able to actually teach them how the game is played, and they wouldn't lose a whole lot. So, but that casino actually took out all of their table games. They're now a slots only place. So yeah, there you go. Stay away from the strip, and you should be fine. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you find it illuminating, enlightening, at least just plain fun. Thank you very much, Vaughn, for sending us these questions. We will catch you guys next time. Bye now. Okay, guys, so as I promised at the end of the videos, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the live stream and how it's going to work. So the first thing is, if you're interested in being one of the players for our craps tournaments, which we're going to have every single week, please email us at sincitylivinglv@gmail.com. I need the email addresses and want to know who is interested so that we can get it set up and we can select it. I'm going to have the first round is going to be 16 players. There'll be 4 players per week. The 5th week is going to be the 4 champions from the previous weeks to get an ultimate champion. Haven't decided yet what the prize will be. Maybe I'll see if I can pick up another one of these lights. But we'll have some sort of prize for our champion. So please, if you're interested, email us. I want to pick the first 8 players, the first 2 weeks worth of players, so that we'll have the first 4 ready for the first week, and the other 4 will be kind of backup, just in case somebody has connection issues or something comes up and they're not able to play that week. Then I've got the other players on standby, so I can just bump one of them up or maybe shift the first person down or something along those lines. The main tournament is going to be Thursdays at 6 o'clock my time, Las Vegas time, 6 p.m. Las Vegas time. And it's the way it's going to work is it's going to be a time thing. I'm going to do the live stream for an hour. I'm going to do the game for an hour, rather. And it might work out to about 30 rolls, might work out to about 40 rolls. I'm not too sure. We'll see how it goes. But it's going to be time. It's going to be an hour. Instead of the craps tournaments that they do down on the strip where it's 30 rolls, we're going to do an hour. So I want to make sure I have a finite time limit for this to start with. And then we will go from there. I'm going to find a way, either a Discord or a Zoom or a private chat room, some way for the players to be logged into something where I can communicate with them on my second computer so that they can tell me what their bets are, what they want to bet, what they want to press when something hits, without me having to scroll through the full chat of the live stream itself. I'm not going to be able to keep an eye on that. And if we have enough people watching and chatting, it could be difficult to keep an eye. So I have to figure that part out. Another reason I need the emails, so I can communicate back and forth with the potential players. So if you're interested, again, please email me. Eventually, just pretty much everybody's going to have an opportunity to be in on these things because we're going to do multiple ones. I'm also looking at probably doing a second craps tournament, maybe late Wednesday nights, possibly, I'm not sure, where I'm going to do it a little bit different. The second one is going to be, instead of 1 hour and then whoever's got the most chips is the winner, because those craps tournaments tend to have really weird strategies. They're not normal strategies that you'd see in normal play, because you're competing against other players and you just want to make sure you have more chips than them by the end. What I'm going to do with the second tournament is, instead of a weekly winner, we're going to play for an hour, and then I'll keep track of how much money people still have on there, or how many chips they still have. And then the next week, same players are going to keep going. Basically, this game will go until the bankrolls end, until we have one person with money left, or chips left. Again, there's no money involved in this. So once we have one final winner, so people will drop out as their play money bankrolls expire, as they run out of chips. So that one, I'm guessing we'll see some more normal strategies, the kind of things people actually play when they're actually playing craps. And then eventually we're going to add baccarat, pai gow, 3-card poker, blackjack, of course, to these tournaments. Whatever we can, to these live streams and live stream tournaments, whatever we can, when we can, as best we can. We're going to have to figure it out as we go. We have a lot of time constraints between me working full-time plus a child. But we're going to do the best we can. We're very, very excited to have this going. And we also will try and pick a day or time where I can do a patron-exclusive tournament or two. We'll see. We'll see how many of our patrons are interested, and see if we can't get that going as well, where it's only on the patron site. So definitely stay tuned, guys. Please, if you're interested in playing in one of the tournaments or partaking in our live streams, aside from just the chat, obviously it's a live stream. Please watch, chat with us, let us know how it's going or what you think, and otherwise, please, again, email us, sincityliving.lv@gmail.com. Otherwise, I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Any suggestions, please hit us up. Thank you guys very, very much. We appreciate every single one of you guys, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye now.